Hi everybody, this is Becky, also known as Bookie Rooney here on YouTube. This is a response video for Miss Lully's challenge, Lucia, about turning negative into positive. I guess I'm not very good at this challenge because I didn't keep track of specific instances that I turned positive from negative. But what I can contribute to this challenge, Lucia, is that I have lived with a lot of negativity in my life, most of my life. I grew up in an alcoholic family. My dad was an alcoholic and very abusive at that time. He was very abusive to my mom. And they got a divorce when I was 4. Well, after that, my mom, she just kind of lost it. She actually became an alcoholic, even though she wasn't then. And started drinking every night, going out to bars, married another abusive alcoholic. And when you grow up like that, it's really hard to think positive. You know, I grew up in a neighborhood where I was the minority, and so it was hard for me to just go to school every day and feel good in my own skin because I was like one of the biggest kids in the class. I was the tallest kid in the whole class all the time, and I always felt so big. But it was only because I was different than them. It wasn't because I was really that big for a girl, you know, of my race and who I am. But even before I was fat, I felt fat because I felt so big compared to everyone else in my class. All my life I've tried to overcome. All my life I've tried to overcome the negative effects of living in an alcoholic family. My mom was very self-destructive, and that carried on. That carried on until I was an adult. I got married when I was 21, and I can honestly tell you that my mom has lived with me on and off my whole entire adult life, which is over 20 years. And she lives with me now. And when Lucia was talking about her mom and how she struggles with the negativity, I've always struggled with that too. And what makes it even harder is that I've had to live with her for a lot of my adult life. Because I really feel like, you know, even though she doesn't drink anymore, she's very depressed, she's very overweight, she's very negative, very pessimistic. She's actually a hoarder too. She's got a lot of issues that I really believe that, you know, when I brought her back into my home, the way she was living was bad. I mean, it looked like a homeless person was living in this little place. I mean, it was so bad that I kind of rescued her from that situation this last time. And even though my mom was really going downhill, she's not an alcoholic anymore, but she was living with my alcoholic brother at the time and practically killed her. So I let her come and live with me. But I have to tell you that I honestly had so much resentment. And I can honestly tell you that I still kind of do because I didn't feel like I should have to take care of my mom my whole adult life. You know, that somehow that became my responsibility, and I didn't feel like it was fair. And I still don't feel like it's fair, but I don't feel like she has anywhere to go. So how I've turned that negative into a positive is that I have tried to see the good in it. She does help with our finances, and God knows it's so expensive to live nowadays and pay bills and take care of kids, and she does contribute to that. And she also helps with the kids when they come home from school. She's here. So I try to turn that around and see the positives in that situation, that, you know, there's a lot of people that don't have their moms anymore. And even though I don't have a close relationship to her, um, I still value the fact that that is grandma and the kids love her and she does help. So honestly, on a day-to-day basis, I have to remind myself of the positive of that situation, because there are times when it's just overwhelming. I sometimes don't know what to do. You know, I've thought about, you know, maybe downsizing, getting a smaller home, and putting her back into another apartment. But there are times when I just feel like I know she can't do it on her own, and I would still have to be helping her. I would still have to be paying her bills, getting her groceries, doing everything for her. And she's not old, guys. She's only 68, but she acts like she's 88. And it blows my mind when I think about the fact that she actually came and started living with me when she was about my age. And I wouldn't even have thought of doing that to my kids. You know, my son that's almost 22 lives in an apartment with a friend in Michigan. I couldn't even imagine going to Michigan and telling my son that I have nowhere to go. Can I live with you? Can I live on your couch? That's how it's been. So I have to constantly remind myself of the good. And it's hard to see the good sometimes when you're overwhelmed and you're stressed and you feel like you have so many people to take care of. And, you know, anyway, I had to tell myself that I had to see the good at work, because work, even though I really like the people I work with, my job is like the lowest on the totem pole. And the only reason I picked that job was because it was close to home. And before that, I was driving an hour commute every day. And in the winter, it was pretty dangerous, actually. I was scared to death to drive on the ice because I had had an accident the year before. And I took a cut in pay to come to this job, but there's really no room for any kind of growth or advancement. And when there was an opportunity to maybe move up into a better position, my supervisor wouldn't let me. She hired someone from outside the company because she said I didn't have enough experience in accounts receivable, so she'd rather hire someone that already had a lot of experience rather than promoting from within and actually training me. And I really feel like I could have been trained for that job, but she didn't give me that opportunity. So I am faced right now with the fact that I'm probably going to have to start looking for another job again, and that's very stressful. But I'm really trying to pull myself together and see the positive, that it'll be a new opportunity for me to maybe learn some new skills, and I'll probably feel better because I won't feel like I'm just sitting there doing this job day after day and it's not going anywhere. And recently, we don't even know if we have enough work to last for the whole day. But the positive in that situation right now is that I really like the friends I work with. I look forward to talking to them every day. And it's only 5 minutes from my house, and I have good benefits. So for right now, things are okay, and I have to see the positives about that. So anyway, guys, sorry this is so deep, and I didn't really mean to go there, but as far as negativity goes, I have had to deal with it my whole life. And I basically have struggled within myself to not constantly look at everything negative. I've definitely looked at myself negative. I've been the one that I've beat up on the most. And I've really tried to turn those negative thoughts around, and I actually have been working on that very hard. Whenever something negative comes into my mind, I really try to turn it into a positive. And Lucia, I really liked your video yesterday when you talked about what you said was when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change, and I really like that. So that's lifelong project is overcoming the negative. So thanks for this challenge, Tia, and I will see you guys again next week. Bye.